Hello, welcome to the Beard Out Podcast. Podcast where we talk about the two greatest things in the world, beer and Weird Al Yankovic. My Aunt Lala and my dad are the hosts of the show. Thanks for listening to the Beard Out Podcast, part of the OddPods Media Network. Stay weird and enjoy the show.
Cool.
Well, hey, how are you doing? Have a seat. Have a drink. Boy, I can glad to see ya. What can you say? Where's Lala?
This is probably very confusing for people because this is not a day that people are used to hearing from the Beard Out Podcast.
It's normally a day of rest for everyone.
It is normally a day of rest for everyone, but we will not rest today on account of a couple of things. It is Weird Al's birthday, so we had to party. And, you know, this is still the Beard Out Podcast. It's a podcast where we talk about two of the greatest things in the world, beer and Weird Al. And I don't even know what I'm calling this yet. Is it a very special episode? No, because it's more than that. This is like bonus good times time.
Is this the first ultra special episode?
I've had a mega special episode. I've had a VV special episode.
So ultra.
We're going to go ultra. We're going to go ultra special episode. And I'm here with an ultra special person, Russ, who we know from here and also his thing, the Infectious Groove podcast.
And our YouTube channel.
Infectious
Groove Music.
Yeah, we're believe it or not, we have faces.
We do.
And people can see them. So that's neat. But we are here today with a very special purpose. I found my special purpose. And, and ours has been over for real. Our special purpose here today is to recount our recent experience with the VIP package at the unfortunate return of the ridiculously self-indulgent, ill-advised Vanity tour that we went to a little less than a week ago here in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
We had a good time.
We did. It was a good time all around. Everybody that we interacted with at the show was great. The show itself was, of course, fantastic. And you don't often say this, but everybody working at the venue was super pleasant.
Yeah.
So like the whole experience was great.
Yeah. It was totally awesome. So our purpose here today is like, I've already had people asking me, so how was the show? Like, what did he do? What did he perform? Like, what was the whole thing like? And rather than me having to answer everybody individually, we're just putting it here on the record. So the next time somebody asks me, Lauren, how was the show? I'm going to say, like, listen to this.
Yeah, I mean that it's easy that way. Plus, it's Weird Al's birthday, so it makes for something cool. And you know, of course, there's no better way to say I love you than with the gift of a spatula. But there's no better way to say happy birthday than with a ultra special episode of your podcast.
I think that's true. And Weird Al does love the podcast. So
we have that in writing.
We do have that in writing on the wall behind glass.
If we were to ever need to take him to People's Court or Judge Judy for any reason, we would submit that as evidence.
And I think it would be, I mean, he signed it. He not only wrote it down, he signed it. It's all on one document.
Yeah. Yep, that's legal.
It is legal. It's the Declaration of Independence. It's legal. So what we're going to do is Russ and I are going to recount the experience that we had. And because I am legally obligated on the Beard Out podcast to have a beer, I have no reason for this other than the fact that Russ really likes Elvis. I'm drinking Elvis juice from Brewdog, and it was in the fridge. So that is what I have.
An assortment of good reasons.
I like it. It's a malt beverage with natural flavors.
Nice. That's not the most convincing sell job I've ever heard of it, but
no, that's what it says on the can. It's a grapefruit infused IPA, and you really do get the grapefruit. So
that works.
I'm on a grapefruit diet. He didn't do that.
Solid. I would like for him to do that song simply for the blow fatty part, because that I will never not laugh a lot at Blow Fatty.
It's so funny. Blow Fatty. You're gonna make me laugh already. So I think our plan for this, and we are bound to veer off of this plan, is to kind of go through the pre-show experience, the show experience, the post-show experience, and then kind of button it all up. And we're going to try and do it as succinctly as possible, but God only knows. So we get to the venue. We were like the first people there.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, the only people that were there before us were the people that were still bringing in the actual concessions for the concession stand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we sat outside until they opened the doors, and then we got in. And we went with a couple of pals. And for those of you that follow along on Twitter know that we do karaoke every Friday. One of the people that we had in tow with us was our karaoke DJ, Kenny.
Yeah, who was beside himself excited at the whole prospect
thing.
Of the whole thing.
Yeah. It's super neat. I love kind of getting people that are more casual fans and kind of showing them like, no, this is like the deep experience.
And he said ahead of time, he was like, I studied. I did. I listened to a bunch of stuff that wasn't parodies, and he was ready. Of course, I mean, with how diverse this set list is, or set lists for this tour is, that no matter how well versed in Weird Al you are, there's going to be ones where you're like, oh yeah, this song. But I feel like he put his best foot forward and listened to as much as he could that was non-parody material.
Oh, he for sure did, and I helped him out. I have my playlist of Weird Al originals. And I sent it to him. So I was like, these are all of the non-parody songs. Just listen to this playlist and you'll be fine.
Right on.
So he totally did that. But anyway, we get in the door and, we're like some of the first people there. We got our little drink tickets and some popcorn and then went to our seats and prepared for Weird Al Jeopardy.
We did. And I mean, I don't want to, I guess I don't want to elongate, or like I find myself in a weird state where I don't want to like have everything take too long, but I also don't want to just breeze over things. But what was funny for me was when you got chosen, there were two grown gentlemen on stage with you for it. And I was like, she is going to annihilate. Like, this is going to be shock and awe. And the host kept pointing out returning champ Lauren. Like every time you buzzed in, he'd go, returning champ Lauren, know? And then your plan was thwarted when one of the contestants failed so hard that he was replaced on the panel by a small child.
Yeah.
And as soon as that happened, I was like, I hope Lauren lets this kid win. Like, I was not sure if you were going to or not. And after like a question or two, I was like, okay, she's going to keep herself in it, but she's going to let this kid win. And people around us in the audience understood what you did. Most of my friends, I have a group chat with my friends back home, understood what we did, but there were two people in particular who were wildly disappointed with your actions in letting the small child win. One of which was a friend of mine, and of course I'll censor this, but when I said, oh, there was a little boy on the panel and Lauren let him win, her reply was, has Lauren ever heard the phrase F those kids? That was our first reaction. And then we had a second person who was insanely let down by the fact that you let a small child win. And who was that, Lauren?
That would be my mother.
Of course.
So yeah, basically to round it all out for those that don't know, if you have the VIP package before the show, there's a whole Weird Al Jeopardy game, and everybody puts their everybody who wants to play writes their information down, and they choose from a barrel to see who's going to play. And I got chosen as a returning champ. I feel like the fix might have been in for that, but I'm not even mad about it.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Returning champ. There's some sort of a panache to that. There's like a glory that goes along with it. So, yeah, I get up there and in my head, just like you said, I was like, I'm set to kill.
Right.
Like I'm out for blood. I'm ready, and then this kid happens, and this kid is adorable, and he sits down next to me, and out of mic shot, he looks at me and he sees the shirt I'm wearing, and I'm wearing my my Funny Papers Batman Roosevelt shirt, and the kid goes, Austin is his name. Austin said, I like your Batman shirt. I watch Batman. And I was like, oh crap, I really do have to let this kid win.
Right.
But the shirt I was wearing under my Roosevelt shirt it's available in RT Public Store. It says, ask yourself, what would Weird Al do? And in that moment, I had to say to myself, what would Weird Al do here?
He would let the kid
He
win.
would let the kid win. And to kind of button up this whole Jeopardy thing, I came in second place, which is fine because now I can say I lost on Jeopardy, which I'm not mad about. So it's a win all around. He wrote a song
about that.
He did write a song about that. So, I'm not mad about it.
I do have one more thing I want to point out about Jeopardy.
Sure.
Well, it's more about Austin, the kid. So, as you grow older, you lose your all sense of wonderment with being a child. Okay. And this is one thing that I love about children that we completely lose as adults. The ability to just be in your own time and space. You are always, from pretty much like the moment you're an adult, 18 on, you are constantly putting pressure on yourself. And you just end up in a world of, I'm sorry, and all that. And then we find ourselves hurrying through high pressure situations. This kid picking questions did not have a care in the world.
No.
And I mean this in the most complimentary way I can. And this is going to labor the point, but I'm going to do it like he did it. So, if you're a contestant on, even if it's a concert pre-game show thing, there's pressure and you're like, I'll take this for 1,000. Oh, I mean 500, you do that. You put like pressure on yourself. And this kid was like, I'll take polka party for that one. Like he wouldn't, and then the poor girl would point and he'd be like, no, the other one. And she would point to one and say, no, the other one,
Yeah.
and it wasn't, I'm not at all making fun of the kid. Like, I wish we still had that. It's like every time he did it, I was like, there's not one adult in this room that would do that. Like every adult would, I'll take this and, and be stuttering over yourself. And this kid was just like, I got all the time in the world. You guys will wait, and I wish I had that as an adult.
Yeah, it was so cool. And the kid was super, super awesome. I after Jeopardy wrapped up and everything, I was in the ladies' room, and I mean, this kid was a kid enough that he was in the ladies' room with his mom, and she stopped me in there. She was like, she kind of got close to me and she goes, "Thank you for what you did up there."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, like, you're welcome." And then I congratulated him again, and he was like, he kind of gave me a nod, and the mom was like, "Say thank you." And he's like, "Thank you."
Yeah.
But it was great. And then as we're waiting for the show to start, he ran over to me like twice to like ask me questions about stuff. And I was like, all right, I made a little buddy here. This is cool. But yeah, so that's what happens before the show. Now we really have to get into the meat of the thing. And I don't want to gloss over Emo Phillips too much, but we have to talk about Emo Phillips.
Well, all I want to say about Emo, because it's hard to talk about a stand-up set without spoiling things.
Mm-hmm.
And I have absolutely no intention of spoiling anything for anybody. But I want to say that, and this, I promise this is not a spoiler, hands down, my favorite joke of his entire set was about his birthday wish.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have very dark humor. And I like almost choked laughing at that joke. I thought it was the best joke in the set, but his whole set was fantastic. Really, really good set.
Rock solid. And I feel like he changes it up enough, because I saw this tour that we've got an episode about that. Saw this tour back in May, and he didn't repeat much.
Which is cool.
So, it felt fresh to me. Like, I laughed fresh at a lot of things. This was my third time seeing Emo, because I saw the first ridiculously self-indulgent, ill-advised Vanity tour, and then I saw this tour twice, and Emo was like on fire every single time. He's not everybody's cup of tea, but he sure is the cup of tea of people who are like really deep into Weird Al stuff.
Right, yeah.
So, yeah, definitely. I mean, Emo's got a lot of stand-up albums out there too, so like catch that and you'll know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So then Emo goes and does his thing, and then man, everything started promptly. Like the whole VIP information said Emo Phillips 7:30, Weird Al 8:20, and by golly, that's what happened.
I was watching the set lists on like Setlist FM for like the last 2 or 3 days, just not trying to spoil it for myself, but just to get an idea of what was in the rotation. And every show was like Al 8:20, Al 8:20, Al 8:20. So there were people around us that were like, "Do you think I got timed?" And I was like, "Yeah, you got 10 minutes," And other people, I'd be like, "No, you missed the window.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to start." And then sure as heck fire. When the 8:20 hit, boom, Weird Al, the guys, and Bob
Yeah.
to open the show.
Bob. Yeah. He opened with Bob. And
Fantastic opener.
it was so great. And it was especially cool for me because my buddy Bob was there.
Right.
And he was like, he's opening with my song. And I was like, yeah, Bob, he knew you were here, Bob.
Yeah. And Bob is one, I went on a great deal on your show prior about how much I love that song. And even afterwards, our friend who, again, wasn't that familiar with the originals going into the show it was one of the first songs he mentioned afterwards was, that was so cool. And then we dropped the thing on him about the whole song being palindromes. And he was like, had his mind blown, which was really cool.
Yeah, and Weird Al songs will definitely do that. And I'm just thinking back, I think I lucked out with the two shows, especially being as far apart as they were. I didn't get a lot of overlaps in the two times I saw this tour. So, then he went on to do Young, Dumb, and Ugly, which was neat because we heard that on the way in the car on the set list, the playlist that I had going. And then he did the lounge version of Dare to Be Stupid.
Which was great. I hadn't heard that before.
Yeah.
So that was fantastic for me.
Super duper fun. And I tried not to spoil it for you.
Right.
Which I think, I'm not great at that, but I didn't do it. And then I think one of my favorite parts of it was on our way to the show, you were like, man, I really wish he'd do My Own Eyes.
Right. Yeah. I've talked to you about this offline a lot. I'm not even a huge Foo Fighters fan, but the Foo Fighters material that I love. And I have never minded the art of the style parody or pastiche. I think I truly think it's that old adage of imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. So I'm a huge White Stripes and Jack White fan. And I think CNR is brilliant. I think it's as much of a nod as it is going, you kind of do the same thing a lot. So under the guise of that, My Own Eyes is every single Foo Fighters song ever all at once. And so whenever anybody said, what do you want to hear him do? What do you want to hear him do? I was like, I guess just that. I just really want to hear him do My Own Eyes. I'm going to kind of skip a little ahead in the set list, so go back if you need to. But near the end of My Own Eyes, I don't know why, but literally I just thought, you know what else? I'd love for him to do Generic Blues. And then he did it maybe not a couple songs, but he did it later.
It was near the end, yeah.
Did it later in the set. And I adore Generic Blues so much.
It's great.
And I don't know why that didn't fly into my head earlier, but it's funny that when he was doing the one song that I said, if I was going to hear one, it would be this. Then I had another one, and then that ended up on the set list too.
Yeah. It's perfect. It's like this was kind of meant for us to be here. But
right.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't forget to say it. I loved the way he set up Generic Blues. He goes, if there's two things that people think about when they think about Weird Al, it's raw sexual energy.
Right.
And I'm like...
And the blues.
And the blues.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he's not wrong.
Right.
So, yeah. And, he went through, after My Own Eyes, it was When I Was Your Age, which was super fun to hear. I remember Larry, which I had never seen that one live before, so that was exciting for me. Buy Me a Condo, which I think he did a great job with that.
Really, really good version of Buy Me a Condo, yeah. That's a song that is old enough that you as a performer could just phone it in. And I don't feel like he did.
Definitely not. No, did not get phoned in. And then he goes to do one of the songs from his wide breadth of Christmas songs.
Yeah, all two of them.
All two of them.
Which, I keep things extremely positive on my show. We do on the YouTube channel, and I know you do here. But we had to deal with yell out from the crowd guy. And I have told you this before, that I saw Rich Robinson one time said that he was from the Black Crowes. I went to a solo show of his. And he said, we're going to do this Fleetwood Mac song from the Bob Welch days. And some guy like 3 rows back was like, thunder only happens when it's raining, man. And literally the whole band just looked at him like, what are you doing?
Eye roll.
And again, I know everyone's not you with Weird Al stuff, but Weird Al says, we're going to do this from, my wide selection of all 2 Christmas songs that I do. And then he kind of told a quick story about how they wrote it all the way back in 1986. And before he can continue, back of the crowd loud guy has to go, the night Santa went crazy. And I can't even imagine that everyone within 3 rows of him must have did the slow turnaround look.
Yep.
What are you even doing here?
Yep.
And honestly, I could have taken either. When he said, I'm going to do one Christmas song, I'm good with either. And I feel like the Weird Al statisticians will probably tell me this for sure, but I feel like Ground Zero is like the rarer of the two for him to play.
I think in general, yeah, because I mean, The Night Santa Went Crazy got a lot of play, even on the Running with Scissors tour.
Yeah.
You know,
so at least, but anyways, I was happy that he did.
Yeah, me
Ground
too.
Zero.
I thought it was super fun. And then he went into what I believe for me was probably one of the highlights of the evening with Craigslist, which I hadn't seen before.
If he had done the studio version of Craigslist, like just with the basic breakdown that's in the thing, it would have been great.
Yeah.
This, I literally just had to censor myself. I almost said SOB, like because you know me.
Yeah.
That's how I show love.
This guy.
Yeah, this gentleman did a breakdown this goes back to the My Own Eyes CNR thing. Jim would have loved that.
Mm-hmm.
It was so good, the breakdown in that song. Just two of my all-time favorite Doors, and I'm not a huge Doors fan, but my two favorite Doors songs ever are When the Music's Over and 5 to 1, both of which have very famous live versions with extremely similar breakdowns to what Weird Al managed to pull off for that version of Craigslist. It was brilliant.
So great. It was so great.
And after he did all the yelling, how he was still on the phone with his mom, like all the yelling was him telling his mom.
Yes.
Oh my Lord, so good.
You gotta love it. Like, and this is we've talked about this point a lot on this show too, is like how there are layers to Weird Al's genius that you have to there are things you need to know to get a lot of the things that he's doing. Like, it was funny at face value what happened there, you know? But knowing what you know about like the Doors and the Doors movie and stuff.
Right. Well, it's like you said. So if you are casual Doors, you've heard Break On Through and Light My Fire, you would probably look at that and be like, oh, that was really cool. And the thing where he was being hilarious in the middle, you think he's just Weird Al being Weird Al. But if like you're a certain level of Doors fan, you know about Jim's antics on stage, and you know he was doing a perfect parody of Jim's antics on stage in the middle of that song. It was just brilliant. Yeah. So when you say layers, that's dead on.
Layers, absolute layers. Then he went on to do One More Minute, which I'd seen a bunch of times before because that was the one where he used to go out into the crowd and like schmooze on the ladies, and that was my favorite. I was always jealous because I was always on the wrong aisle for that, and it made me very mad. But
you're like the women in the Elvis films where he like breezes by them and gives the scarf to someone else.
Yeah,
never you.
Pretty much never me.
But I could have took her left it from the set, but it was a decent version of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that always, lovely job. You know, then Airline Amy.
I could take or leave this song in life, but just for rarity of
it was neat
I was
to
like,
see.
okay, that's cool.
Absolutely neat to see. Then First World Problems.
I love this song.
Yeah.
This is another perfect. I'm so used to saying style parody. I know you say pastiche. It is perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect, I say.
It is perfect.
If you've ever even heard, if you walked by someone's house and heard a Pixie song coming out of it, then you know that this is a great style parody of the Pixies.
Oh, for sure. Friend of the show, Mike from the Pub Trivia Experience and Boozy Bracketology, said to me once that First World Problems is the best Pixies song.
Yeah. Well, that and Smells Like Teen Spirit, because Nirvana completely ripped that off from the Pixies as well.
Okay, that's fair.
So yeah, both of them. The best Pixie songs, turns out they were not done by the Pixies.
By the Pixies, yep. It's great. I love it. Yeah, First World, and it's super fun, First World Problems, definitely.
Yeah, the lyrics are wonderful.
Yeah.
Your friend Bob and I, or our friend Bob and I, were talking before the show about songs like One of Those Days, where we love when Weird Al puts in things that are like casual and not that big of a deal, and then the next line is like something that would outrageous and would never happen. And First World Problems is like that, where it's like, you know, there'll be like one thing that like could happen that you'd be, and then there's a thing that's just so outrageous, you know, and that's what makes it even funnier. So
yeah, and Weird Al does this thing, you know, it's like flip sides of a coin where, you know, Christmas at Ground Zero, it's catastrophic, but he's making light of it.
Right.
And then one that wasn't in the show, but Why Does This Always Happen to Me? It's nothing, but he's making it catastrophic.
Right.
And I just love that dichotomy. It's super cool. And another thing I love is the fact that we have to talk about Melanie again.
Yeah, we sure do.
He did Melanie.
Yep.
That happened.
Yeah. but then he played songs that are way better after that.
Sure.
I honestly think one of my big problems with Melody goes back to the first Ill-Advised tour where he opened with it in Ann Arbor, Michigan. And I was like, why would you? No. And so when he opened with Bob this time, I was like, all right, we're on a much better track this time.
So he just kind of shoved Melanie somewhere like.
Yeah, he was kind of hoping I had gone to the bathroom, maybe.
Maybe Russ is peeing.
Yeah.
That's probably what Weird Al was said. Somebody put a thought bubble above his head. Maybe Russ is peeing.
Yep.
Well, he went out of Melanie and into a song that I will never, ever tire of seeing. I think I did see him do this on the first Ill-Advised tour that I saw. And I was so happy to see it again. Mr. Popeil.
Yeah. I don't know if it's the first, no, it's probably not the first style parody or pastiche, but it is absolutely fantastic. And it's one that I didn't appreciate till I was much older. I would put it in the dog eat dog category.
100%.
I didn't fully get it till later.
Yeah, definitely. I'm totally in the same boat with that. I didn't get this one on a lot of levels until later. Like, I had no idea about Mr. Popeil. None of it made sense to me. I just thought it was a fun sounding song. But man, I find myself sometimes, like, just in life, like, my brain will just go, look at that tomato.
Oh, yeah. Well, anytime you see something being sold or on sale with, this type of stuff flies into your head.
Anytime I see a tomato.
Right.
No, it is great. And it was really fun to see Steve and Jim kind of have to do the girl part.
Yeah, they nailed it, though.
They did a great job. It was absolutely brilliant. And then the aforementioned Generic Blues came right after Mr. Popeil.
Which was great.
Super duper cool. Jim doing the guitar solo in Generic Blues was the physicality. Like, now again, they're all sitting on stools throughout this whole thing, but the physicality that still ended up happening, Jim playing this and Al just giving him this look when the solo starts to go wrong.
Right.
It was beautiful.
All I wanted in life is for Weird Al to tell him to make it shut up, and I saw it. So
yeah, so he made it shut up. And then Skipper Dan.
File under Airline Amy for me.
Yeah.
Not mad that it was there. Could have put another song in its place, but I understand the rarity of it.
There are people that love it. There are people that really like feel Skipper Dan.
Right.
And I'm not mad about it. And then he closed the main set with a song that made me cry the first time I saw it live.
Yeah.
Because I never thought I'd see it live, and now I have seen it live thrice.
And it's very personal song for me. I'm reasonably sure I told this story on your show before, but just it's very connected to an actual family trip that I took when I was a kid. So
yeah,
as soon as that song starts in a normal setting, I literally will get choked up, and then to be sitting 5 feet away from Weird Al when they started was really cool for me to get. And I know he's alternating that, and I think Albuquerque mostly is the other closer.
Yeah, to quit burying the lead, we're talking about the biggest ball of twine in Minnesota.
Well, I think people might have figured that out by now.
I don't trust anyone.
Right? Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, and I adore Albuquerque. But given the choice between the two, I'm totally fine with what we got. I love that song because it's just personal to me, and it's one of those Weird Al songs that's great on its own, and then when you take in the jokes all throughout the song and everything, and then for me to pile on the family trip, that's great.
It's beautiful, and it's so fun to see him do that live.
Right,
it really is. It just makes me so happy. So then, can we talk about what they do between the regular set and the encore?
Yeah, because I think it's amazing.
It's absolutely brilliant what happens. They don't actually leave the stage. They're just kind of milling about.
Which is, nobody ever leaves the stage. They just stand behind curtains where you can't see them.
But they make it obvious.
Oh, yeah.
Where you
he
can
stood
see
there
them.
checking his phone.
Yep.
Yeah, which is, I've been to probably, at a guess, over, I don't know, 1,500 shows or so. And since the first concert I went to back in 1987. And the number one thing before cell phones at concerts, the number one thing that I've always hated my whole life is the faux encore. Like, we all know, if you haven't played Paradise City yet, the show is not over. You know what I mean? Or insert largest hit here. Yeah. Or if the city has a curfew of 11 and you've played your quote last song at 10:40, we all know that you're coming back to play 2 more. Like, why do we have to waste this time where we all praise you? We already paid you.
Yeah.
So you should know that we like you enough to want to hear music. Why do you need 10 minutes of roaring crowd to come back and play more songs for us that you plan to play in the first place, that you have pyro timed for and video screens and everything? So we all know this is happening. So I love that Weird Al found a way to parody even that.
Yep.
By just standing there checking their phone. And then when he came back to the mic in the hole, we never do this. We're going to, wow, we're going to play more. I just thought was brilliant.
Yeah, they do such a good job with that. And it is so funny, especially, being up close where we were in the second row to like see Al on his phone and Bermuda just kind of like brushing off his drums.
Yeah.
It's like, we know what you're up to, guys.
I took a picture of Alan standing there on his phone. I'll send it to you so you can use it with this episode because it's hilarious. He's like in full view on the stage, just checking his phone instead of doing more music.
I love that. I absolutely love that. So then they come back for this encore after doing whatever it was they were doing backstage.
Oh, I'm sure negotiating the ability to do an encore, right?
Right,
That's
probably.
what other bands claim.
Probably. And so on this tour, they open the encore with a straight cover. And the first 2 times I saw a tour like this, I got 8675309 and Beat on the Brat.
I got on the first, though, because I've only seen this tour once when it was the original version of the tour, and I got Should I Stay or Should I Go by The Clash.
Cool. And this time we got Werewolves of London by Warren Zevon.
Which I applaud for 2 reasons. Number 1, Warren Zevon rules. And number 2, I really need that song to be taken back from Kid Rock.
I hear that.
I need it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, being from Detroit, and I used to travel a ton for work, and people would always go, "Oh, you're from Detroit. You must love Kid Rock." And I would be like, "Please don't. No, no.
Yep.
Don't stop spreading that information."
False.
And it's not even anything to do with it. My big issue with that particular song is you did nothing creative at all. You took a very popular song, Werewolves of London, and then you crossed it with a very popular song, Sweet Home Alabama, and then you talked, as you do in every other song that you've ever recorded, about how much you drank, how much weed you smoked, and who you hung out with. You were not creative at all, Bob, which is Kid Rock's real name. So please, everyone, stop glorifying that song. And I feel like Weird Al is doing his part to make people remember the original song.
Yeah, for sure. I love the original song so much. One of my favorite lyrics in all of music is "Little old lady got mutilated late last night."
Yeah, well, it's just heartwarming.
Because it's the Werewolves of London again.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's great.
So I was excited that we got that just because I want more people to hear that song than the Kid Rock one that people seem to know now.
Yeah, it's a bummer. And then he always closes with, he's to give the people what they want.
Right.
It's a little medley of some of his parodies that people kind of want to hear. Amish Paradise, Smells Like Nirvana, White and Nerdy, Word Crimes, and Yoda. Mm-hmm. But up until Yoda, none of them are actually done in the style that...
Right. Which is neat.
Yeah, so they were all kind of tweaked a little.
Yeah. Which I liked, and the chant alone is worth the price of admission at the end of that. Like, I don't care how many times you see it. It takes so much talent and time and energy to do what they do with that. And that was there again, a friend of ours who was very, very new to the Al universe. And one of the first things he said was, "My God, that chant at the end was amazing." So
cool. So cool. And yeah, the first time I saw the chant, which, again, was in 1999, I did not know what to make of it. And that thing has evolved over the decades. Mm-hmm. And there's a great video on YouTube somewhere of kind of like the references for all of the things in the chant, like where they come from, which I think is totally rad.
I concur. Yeah, I don't have anything. The only reason I'm kind of skipping over it is because you and your audience,
we know the chant.
You know it.
We know the chant. It's just very cool. Then he closes the show and then he's actually done. And then we got ushered to the VIP meet and greet situation, which I don't know if a lot of people talk about this, but I feel like it was run very smoothly, as smooth as a thing like that could be.
I have been in and around the backstage area for many, many different VIP things for other artists. And without throwing anybody in particular under the bus, I can tell you that this is far and away the most organized thing that I've seen. And also, I think it comes from the type of crowd that Weird Al draws. I've said this to you personally many times. Weird Al people are good people. You didn't have anybody first not paying attention to direction or acting as if they didn't hear something to try and get something that they're not entitled to or whatever. You just had everybody listened to the direction, then everybody followed the direction, and then it all happened as smoothly as it should have.
Yep.
Whereas I've seen really bad combinations of everything before, like a suspect fan base or a poorly run organization or both. And here you had literally the best of all possible hope that you could have for this thing to go as smooth as it did. And it did. It went really, really fast. We went through both lines real quick.
Real quick. Yeah. So the first line you go through is the one where you get your picture. And one thing that that like had me like my heart, I think, kind of like flew out of my body was when it was our turn for our picture. Mm-hmm. Weird Al saw me and he was like, "Oh, it's you. Great to see you again." And I was like, "Oh my God."
My favorite part about that, just for me, because I was like, at first I was like, "Oh, that's so cool." And I know how excited you are. And then he literally kind of looked over your shoulder at me and was like, "Oh, hi." Mm-hmm. I was like, "Yeah, I am here too." Like I am very much just here too. Like, which I know, like I get that, you know what I mean? I'm not like mad about it or anything. Like I totally understand that. And so I thought that was funny. But yeah, when you know, for anybody who's been through this VIP thing where they have the big, huge plastic divider, Weird Al, for as much as he could, with as flimsy as that was, pretty much threw himself against it to give you a sort of hug.
As close as he could to hugging me.
Right.
Yeah, which, I mean, I hope that there's one more tour that doesn't have a lot of these restrictions so that I can get like one legitimate Weird Al hug before, you know.
Right.
He's not, you know, before I can't, you know. So anyway, we got our picture, then we go back to our seats, and then we go through the line again to get our autographs. And that happens. We're standing in front of Weird Al, and, you know, once again, he thanked me for coming, and thanked you for coming. And I got to, I looked Weird Al in the eye, and you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna say the thing, because there is so much Weird Al involved in how you and I got together here. I literally looked at Weird Al and I said, I met him because we both love you. So I'm the happiest I've ever been, and it's all your fault.
Right. And it was funny. He kind of looked at me and looked at you, and he was like, "You're welcome." Like he just kind of like didn't know how to take that. You know, it was like, you just said something really nice and then ended it with, "It's your fault." Yeah. But I feel like that's how he would want people to communicate. Yeah. So that was very, very sweet moment too. And I like that he got it.
Yeah.
You know.
So, and then I just have to end it with saying that after it was over, we saw a Taco Bell that was being built, and it wasn't open yet. And I really wanted a Crunch Wrap, but I ended up having to get a chicken cheesesteak from Wawa, and I was a little bummed about that.
Well, I told you should write a strongly worded letter.
You should not have the sign on if the Taco Bell is not open.
I'm telling you. Tomorrow, get out your laptop. Dear Taco Bell.
Dear Taco Bell.
Yep. I bet you'd get something free out of it if you sent that letter.
Probably.
So, yeah, overall, it was a wonderful...
It was great.
Like, it's with this thing in particular, with a Weird Al tour and of this type, and everything, you're not going to have anything but a good experience, you know? So it's almost like when you first were like, "Hey, we're going to do this recap episode," I was kind of in a way thinking, why? Like people, you know what I mean? Like, but then again, I'm sure at no point has Weird Al ever said that about anything he's done, you know, like, why make people laugh? Why spread joy? You know what I mean? He does. So I'm certain that there are Weird Al fans who have been to this tour or are still going that will derive some sort of joy from us recounting our experience, you know. And it's almost sounds like I'm being flippant, but I promise you I'm not. The whole experience was everything that I wanted it to be.
Oh, me too.
Yeah. So
Weird Al's the gift that keeps on giving. He truly is.
That's true.
You know, even like music that we heard 40 years ago keeps on giving new gifts, like as you listen to it with, different ears and ears that understand more than they did when you heard it the first time. So he truly is the gift that keeps on giving, and I can't thank him enough. And speaking of gifts, that I don't know, Weird Al, you're probably not listening to this, but you love the podcast. But if he is,
happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
You're welcome for this episode.
Yeah, you're welcome. We love you. Have the happiest birthday of all birthdays, and
or maybe go bowling.
Oh, just put on a stupid shirt and go bowling
instead.
Yeah, you should go bowling. Do that kind of thing. And you know what? I guess this episode is probably over, so...
And that's when those security guards threw us out.
We're gonna go.
Yeah, that's fair. I feel like we've said all we can say about the show.
I think so. It was great. I mean, I could have put this episode out saying, it was awesome. And
that would have been funny, though.
That would have been funny.
And then make sure to put your full theme music on either side of it so the theme music is longer than the actual episode. There's a White Stripes concert. They hold the world record for the world's shortest concert. They played one note.
That's great.
Yep. They set up their entire show and played a C chord and walked off.
That's amazing.
Yep.
I don't think I have it in me to do that.
Nope. No, we did this instead.
And I feel like this was good and worth doing. So, Russ, thank you for
coming from the living room to the office to record this episode. Not a problem.
Well, yeah. Yeah, thank you for doing that. And thank you for going to the show with me.
Yeah, thanks for taking me.
You're welcome. So
I could have just sat on the couch with the dogs, but no, you took me.
I did. I took you.
Very nice of you.
Because you're a very important person.
That's what I've heard.
A VIP. And I guess, then without further ado, we're going to end this. Happy birthday, Weird Al. Bye.
Sorry, we got a one. We got a capital again.